I'm feeling just overwhelmed with emotion today. So I'm sure that's going to come through, but I'm going to just show up, be vulnerable, and move through it. Move through it. And this is a part of the energy, the message I think that is meant to be coming through is the match to this emotion and vulnerability with it. These phrases are going through my mind of what does it mean to trust the process, which is a common thing I've heard from readers. I've sat psychic mediums. That's what I mean when I've sat for readings to receive from other psychic mediums. And that's a phrase that comes through repeatedly for me. Trust the process and allow the unfolding of this journey. And I understand why that comes through because I feel it. I feel it repeatedly in that spiral staircase. I come back over to that east wing repeatedly of surrender and trusting the process. And I think of what is the difference between protecting your peace versus guarding your heart. And there are some notions of control versus surrender involved somehow in the answers to those questions. When we're in this active phase of transformation, this has been the theme that's come up for me personally and in several of my sessions this last week, is being in this impasse, this liminal place where we are not the same as we once were. We're growing, transforming, evolving, ascending, which is all blessings, beautiful. And we're not quite familiar with this newness, what is our external going to look like and feel like now that we've had such transformative internal shifts happening. And I had a client again talking about this butterfly analogy, sharing something about this man who found a cocoon, and it was like partway opened and he could see part of the little butterfly wing in there. And so he was thinking he was being helpful by opening up the rest of the cocoon, but the butterfly was not ready to come out. And we really need to have some ability to find presence and surrender and faith in the journey. This is trust the process. This is, can I find a way to experience a sense of being supported and held and divinely guided when I notice the discomfort of this old life doesn't fit me, but I'm not completely inside of the new life. I haven't felt like things around me have completely transformed yet to match what's happening inside of this cocoon. And as I reflect on this, I myself am just noticing, and this is where the emotion really rises up, that I feel like I have a different level of open-heartedness than I have in the past. I just feel like some of the things that my egoic human mind thought were necessary to protect me was not necessarily protecting my peace. It was closing my heart chakra down. It was guarding. And when you are leading your life in a way where your heart is guarded like this as as an attempt to stay in control and to protect your trajectory and to limit the possibilities that you'll experience any loss or grief, you also are preventing yourself from receiving, because receptivity and alignment that is based on frequency is coming from sacred heart chakra. So if you really want to pull in the depth of soul aligned connections, I think there is a surrendering to this wisdom that having an open heart is not a weakness, that having an open heart is not directly an indication that you're a sitting duck and that you're not protecting yourself. I am thinking the most divine protection that you can possibly experience comes from having an open heart space. Can I trust that when I radiate this energy of divine love from the inside out, that I'm being guided, that I'm being protected, that I have spiritual support, that frequency protects me? Frequency is itself protective through the natural orders of that magnetism and repulsion. And in due time, I allow all things to unfold. And that requires vulnerability. And this is why you're seeing the emotion that is moving through me, because it is opening me up to a deeper level of love. But that goes both ways. It's for myself as well. It's opening me up to a deeper level of realizing my own divinity and worthiness and sacredness. And somehow, the surrender to that is deeply linked to this ability to trust the process. Because when I was functioning in the past from a place of feeling much more guarded and fear-based, very fearful, I'm going to keep this person at arm's length, that will somehow protect me. No, that doesn't protect you. I'm learning more and more as I'm in this active phase of transformation myself, like I was saying, keeping that guarded position, that distance, that I want to say like feigned detachment for a reason. Feigned detachment through that guarded, protective state. What that in fact is doing, rather than protecting me from external situations or other people, it disconnected me from myself. My authentic soul essence, kind of emanates, radiates like a sun from this sacred heart center. I need that to be able to shine and just radiate, like I said, from the inside out, in order to stay in union with myself. I deserve that level of authenticity. I deserve that level of authenticity. I deserve to live a life where I am allowing the love that is all around me through the higher dimensions, angels, guides, ancestors. When I open my heart like that and I'm at union with myself, leading from this place of authenticity to my true soul essence, rather than shutting that down because my ego and my fear from my mind says that it is somehow dangerous to be truly who I am and to lead with an open heart, then I disconnect from myself and I disconnect from a clear channel to allow a higher level of divine guidance to pour into my life. And in that way, the more I am authentically myself, vulnerable, open, leading from this heart space, I'm much more protected there. I'm much more protected there. All of the energy of the angelic kind of realm, the angels, the guides, the guardians that are with me, that open heart is an invitation to pull those beings into my life. I'm just thinking light speed, right? But it's like more than a football field of distance that I'm closing out by choosing to open that heart space and say, yes, I'm aware that I'm not alone and I never could be if I tried. And I'm hearing that Carrie Underwood song, Jesus Take the Wheel. Maybe we don't always need to wait until tragedy strikes in our life in order to say, like, okay, I realize my ego doesn't always have the the highest wisdom and can't guide me in a way that results in living a life of boundless miracles that I deserve. So I am saying, the more that Jesus has taken the wheel in my life through me opening that heart, and I'm like, all right, I'm a little nervous to do this. This is unfamiliar for me. And then we turn a corner smoothly. I'm like, hey, nice job. Much better than I could have done. Brilliant. How'd you know that deer was up on the road ahead, right? I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating this. And this is the surrender I'm talking about, where it doesn't mean I surrender and I'm a helpless little baby fawn. It's like true power, and authenticity. And this is what we deserve. And this opens to a life led by intuition, where miracles will draw closer and closer and begin to reflect in your external world.